Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Resource Management Podcast. I'm joined here by Max, as always,
Hi everyone.
and
Hi Malcolm.
today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. A couple of stuff, a couple of things. First of all, we'll be going over,
Yeah, one thing in particular.
yeah, one thing in particular, going over the recent online success of Block Snorlax in the
Yep.
new set. Also going over what's been going on with the meta and everything, and we're gonna end it off with some LAIC predictions slash what we think the meta is gonna be looking like. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. We'll start off. I think everybody has seen recently Block Snorlax. It's been going crazy. People are farming impressions on Twitter with it. So
Absolutely. It's the
yeah.
first time in like 2 or 3 years that controls seem to have a spot in the meta,
Yeah,
like a
yeah, that's
spot.
true.
I use parentheses right there because I'm
Yeah,
not so sure about if it's truly deserved or not.
yeah. Me and Max both have I mean, we both have similar takes on the deck, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while since I think we've seen a control that could get this much attention. Like usually,
Yeah, that you don't have to like drop half of your binder bulk to play around some
yeah,
weird shit or
yeah,
like use your Cinder brain to win a game.
yeah. Or like I think it's like one of the rare times where it's not just Sander doing well at a tournament, and then people being like, "Oh, this deck is crazy,
Yeah,
man." It's like,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That for real, that's a factor.
So I think yeah, so Max, what do you think? Let's just go over what do you think of Snorlax? Let's just both give our takes on the deck and then
Uh, I think it's the new control hype, really. It's
yeah.
the new control hype.
Mm,
And since people, well, first of all, there were plenty of people who joined the game recently, and so they never really experienced playing against a stall or control.
yep,
So obviously, people who play control farms those people,
yep.
first of all. Second of all, it's online tournaments.
Mhm.
We didn't have a real person tournaments, so people are maybe more lazy to play around, really use their head as much as they would do in real life, or just tech for it, or just sit through it.
Yep.
Honestly, like
Mhm.
if you're in a 30-person tournament and you're like against Snarlax style, you're already 0-1. Like I'm just gonna go get the dinner instead of wasting an
Yeah.
hour of my life.
Yeah. So I think that what Max is saying is very like I think is a big factor, with a lot of people
Mm,
coming to the game and with Control not having honestly the last time I think Control has had like this much of like an impact on the game. Not maybe not the game, but like overall the community feel was probably Pidgeotto, where
yeah, absolutely.
people were saying like, "Oh, it's so broken." Which Pidgeotto control was broken? Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Pidgeot control is not
see,
near the
yeah,
same level as Blocklax.
yeah,
I may reassure everyone, we are not in a Pidgeot control type of
for
situation.
sure.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not the same thing, but I think the community reaction and the sentiment behind it is fairly similar to when Pidgeotto came in. But
It's it's even worse, I guess,
yeah,
because of the skill expression problem, I think.
yeah,
You definitely have more room for skill expression
yeah,
in Pidgeotto
yeah. It's
because
true.
it's a combo lock deck,
Yeah,
and Snorlax is a draw and pass
yeah.
deck.
Pretty
No, I
much.
mean I've been playing Blocklax since the start of the rotation in the
Yeah.
Scarlet Violet. I've been playing a lot of it, and so I know there's a lot of micro decision, like
Mhm.
plenty of little things you have to get your head around. But it's the main line of play is way more linear than
Yeah, for sure.
Pidgeotto. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think what makes it what makes it what makes people react like a bigger reaction to the deck is how easy it is to pick up. So
Yeah.
you can play it easily to like decent success, but as Max says, there's small micro decisions where will probably make a difference between a good player or a Snorlax player and then a like an okay player. So
Yeah, and especially if you play against good
yeah,
player who like know
that
how to
also.
manage their resource,
Mhm.
you're not gonna get as much of a free game as you would
Yeah,
against a newbie or someone who just joined the game.
yeah, exactly. So as far for me, I think the deck is obviously good. Okay, it's not
Yeah, it's
bad.
solid. It's
The
solid.
the deck's good. Its counter catcher is very good. But yeah, I personally think that I would never bring this deck to a regional, or I mean I brought it last year, big mistake, and I wouldn't do it again. It's like especially in a best of three, I think the deck is very it's pretty.
What do you mean in the best of three? It's literally better in best of three than in best of one.
You think it's better in best of three?
I played a lot in BO1 and BO3. Like I think I only played Blocklax in the Scarlet Violet era. So
Yeah,
from my experience, BO3 is always the way.
I think it's worse than best of three because I mean if you're playing against a good player, I think the best of three it's worst because the guy can just go
Why?
scoop game one, and then he can probably beat you both games if he's decent. You know?
Yeah, and like in BO1 you can go, I'm not sure what to
Okay,
play. Let me
that's
think.
true.
Pass.
You might
And like
tie,
they
yeah,
do it.
you might tie more in BO1, but I think you can also get more cheesy wins in BO1. So from
I
my
guess.
experience from playing the deck, I've had more success playing it in best of one than uh best of three. So
Yeah, I've had some success in best of one, but like I tie more in
yeah,
best of
for
one.
sure. Yeah, you for sure tie more. That's the one thing. Games do take a while, and if your opponent's not, emphasized to scoop the game since it's best of one, then you'll probably tie more. But
Yeah. And before the rule change that there's been a rule change that like in the pace of play
mhm,
type of rule where you need to make the game states progress.
yeah,
But before that ruling,
yeah,
we had a friend of ours. I played against him at locals and he played Guardy.
yeah,
He had no chance of winning. But he played Zaician War of the Sword each turn.
yeah,
Just like, let me see if I want to attach an energy.
yeah. So
Yeah,
for sure, at best of one, you're gonna tie more. I think that's like a big thing,
yeah.
But I think in best of three, people can, if you're playing against somebody that's like that just uses their brain a little bit.
But you for the you said you wouldn't bring it to a regional, and like I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I will not bring it to regional.
Yeah. So
Like I think it was better to bring it at a regional like before this set
yeah,
because people weren't expecting it.
yeah, for sure. I think that's also a big factor. Like, I'm pretty sure one person brought it to Toronto and got top 32 with it,
Yeah,
and that was before countercatcher was even a thing. So
yeah,
I think honestly Toronto was probably the best time to bring the deck because people just forgot it was a thing, and
yeah, and yeah, yeah.
you had good matchups going into the meta, and except Lost Box maybe, which is kind of sketchy, but it's probably winnable. I think it's more winnable now, but before it's pretty hard.
Yeah, no, Last Box is pretty winnable. Like it's a little unfavored, but we will go through the
Yeah.
matchups
So
later on.
if we would just want to go over a quick like deck list of what a a Snorlax deck would look like,
Well, that's the list I've been bringing to locals for the
Yep.
past 2 weeks because even though I just shitted on the deck for the past 8 minutes, I still enjoy playing it a little, and so I am the one annoying guy who bring Blocklax to local, you know?
Yeah.
Eh,
S-
gotta be that guy.
Yeah, so this is Max list. It's pretty normal. I don't know. It's your list,
I
so
mean, like it's you mean there's only one boss,
yeah.
so that's
I
and
mean,
there's only one switch card, pretty
yeah.
much. And
That's
and there is the what's the name of the new tool?
Defiance Fest.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
Defines Vest. So
So
those are the little less common inclusion, but I
mhm,
think this list is very good. Yeah, that's my 60.
yeah.
Like, yeah, straight up.
Honestly, yeah, I would probably go for the same. I wouldn't change much from this list. I think it's
I think everything is pretty solid in
Yeah,
here. The Serena that most people forgot is very good against Lost Bucks
yeah,
and
yeah,
Guardy
for
because
sure.
it fixes a lot of math
Hmm.
versus Guardy because Guardy has kind of a hard time doing 200,
Hmm.
but it can two-shot it with a little guy doing 10.
Hmm.
So if you negate that 10, you just buy yourself an extra turn.
Yeah, for sure. So, if we just go over the deck real quick, like it's there's not much to go over, Bond, but you know, obviously you have the road up for draw. For
Yeah.
Snorlax, the crab to finish off games,
Yeah,
or
the crab is very important.
yeah,
Early on in the format, people weren't including it, but
mhm,
like it's good versus first the mirror, second
yeah,
uh deck that includes Pidgey,
yeah,
third it's good against Lostbox, fourth it's good against Squallvet,
yep,
and yeah, crab.
yeah, crab.
Yeah, thumbs
All
up.
yeah. It's crazy that we're now teching for control, or you have to mention the mirror matchup.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, hey, I played against two control at Toronto. I should have,
that's true.
you know, I ticket for those, obviously.
Guys, if you really want to win the mirror, play Mewtwo v Union in this. You guys will always win. Trust me. This is secret tech.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Just throw three psychic and
yeah,
four Mewtwo V Union, and you'll be chilling.
yeah, you literally beat everything. With
Oh,
mirror.
and a research to discard the piece.
Yeah, one research. Yeah, just yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we
just
go.
one.
We figured it out. But
Yeah,
yeah, honestly, I don't think there's a lot to say about this deck.
yeah. There's not a lot to say.
As good as the deck does, it's pretty straightforward. Um, and yeah, I guess now we can go for matchups and talk a bit about the different matchups. So
Yep,
we made a nice little tier list here.
I
Or
did.
Max made a tier list. Sorry, Max made a tier list here, um, of the matchups. So uh, I fully agree with this tier list. I think it's a very good and makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So Max, go for it if you
Charizard
have to.
literally free. Like, if
Yep.
you expect a lot of Charizard, like honestly, that's the first. Like, it would be the only exception I would say. Like, yeah, play Blocklax instead of everything else. Like,
Yeah.
this matchup is so free.
Hmm.
They play not a lot of energy. They can't one-shot you with Charizard.
Yep.
They have plenty of Erika targets.
Yep.
That's insane. How many
Yeah.
target they are. Like, it's literally like they flip Charmander. I'm like, let's go. I'm already thinking about my next game.
Yeah. Uh, I fully agree with that. Charizard is usually, just the fact that you're not taking prizes and they're only doing 180 makes it so easy. Then they usually also only play one switch card, so that makes things like
Yeah,
1,000 times
and they
easier.
like we have everything
Yeah,
like low damage cap,
yeah,
a lot of Erika target, a little to none
yeah,
switching card.
yeah. After that we have Chen Pao. Um, Honestly, I have not played this matchup enough to know how good it is.
Well,
So
it's pretty good because they need a lot to set up. So
that's
if they
true.
don't bench B Barrel, which would be a very good um, Ghost target,
Hmm.
they'll have a hard time to take knockouts after knockouts.
Yeah, makes
And
sense.
so that gave us plenty of time to do our little shenanigans.
Hmm.
And the recent list don't play the cross switchers. They
Yeah.
only play one escape rope and
Hmm.
one counter catcher to, but
Okay.
like the counter catcher doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
so they play less
Hmm.
switch card.
Yeah. Even with cross switchers, if you just discard one cross switcher, that's basically one less switch card for them. So
Yeah,
I think even with cross switchers, you're still probably beating the deck. You also have a good Erica targets. And then if they discard them, you can Avery Horn. And also I think the fact that they don't play Iono right now probably makes it even easier since you can build up your hand to pull off big combos. I think makes the
yeah, they
matchup
play
probably
only
easy.
one or so.
Yeah, they either play one or none from the list I've seen.
Yeah, so
So,
you can be really greedy with your Rodham.
yep.
Yeah, Yeah, because the huge thing with Blocklax is the difference between winning and losing a game sometime versus like more even or unfavored matchup is like when you penny back your Rodham in your hand. That's
Yep.
literally what I've been telling people when they ask me about Blocklax.
Mhm.
It's just know just gauge
Yep.
when your opponent have a high chance of gusting
Yep.
your Radam. So that the turn you think they have it, just penny it back it into your hand. Don't be too greedy, but don't be too conservative with it. You still want to have enough resources to play the game without your Radam. But like Radam is not like a meat cannon or what's the word for that? The thing you just let die. Like you don't
Uh
want to just let it
oh
die.
yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah. Meat shield? Is that it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
you guys
Yeah,
know
yeah. Listen, yeah, basically like the Rotom can't just be there to, like the difference between a game where you're gonna let your Rotom die and where you're able to penny it up is actually pretty insane. Like
it's so insane.
how much more value you get off your Snorlaxes. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
that is for sure.
that allows you to play a fifth
Yep.
Snorlax,
Hmm.
and it's a retreat. Like not only Rotom is too easy price, but it's also they break the that breaks
Yeah, the luck. Yeah.
the luck obviously.
Yeah, you have to see your Rotom as like if they boss it also as a switch card, or any
Yeah,
other thing on your bench as a switch card potentially.
yeah,
So that's another thing to keep in mind. Uh,
yeah.
After that we have Goldengo. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty easy as
Golden
well.
Go is not even a real deck, so
Yeah, it's not a real deck, and yeah, uh, it's Goldengo, man. Like
yeah, it's gonna look like you just mimic you, and the second they bring something else, like
you just win.
just go with the flow. You're gonna win the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, in A we have Miraidon. Um, if they play Pokemon Go Zapdos, I feel like it can be weird. Like,
Ah, they never play it in Paradox Rift.
yeah, maybe in Paradox Rift they don't really play it, but other than that, it's pretty easy. They also only play 3 to 4 Switch cards, which is
Yeah,
usually easy to deal with. Um,
and they have to make a choice. They have to make a real tough choice if they want to go turbo or no.
yep.
So that's what I mean is, do they want to go Squawkabilly and have an easy Gus target on the bench,
Hmm.
uh, or no, but loading their Pokemon less uh, quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And then if they bench Squawkabilly, then and you boss it up, it's pretty
Yeah,
much
you
over.
bust it up, but it can sometimes it can be the move for them. Like if you have a shaky
Yeah, for
start,
sure.
if you have a shaky start, I would recommend a Miraidon player to go aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's for any matchup. Like
Hmm.
if the like Blocklax is a setup deck. Like the
Yep.
second you have four dude on play, like you're chilling.
Yep,
So
for sure.
if the Blocklax player has only like two dude in play, like you can go the aggressive route.
Hmm. Moving on, we have Roaring Moon. I have not played this matchup. I'm gonna be honest. I have not touched Black Snorlax this whole format. I don't like playing the deck,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna
But
leave on
like
this one to Max.
we're busy cooking some real spicy control
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Uh.
Yeah, Rowing Moon can be quite tough, but they have the same hard choice as Miraidon if they want to bench the Squawk or no.
Yep.
Plus, it depends on the list. There's so many builds of
Yeah.
Roaring Moon right now, but it's pretty much the same as Miraidon. It's like
Hmm.
the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Per-
the matchup is a little harder because they can one shot more easily.
yeah, that's
Like they
true.
don't have an attacker. Like Roaring Moon always KO.
Yeah. Yeah. As for Miraidon, they have to retreat it if they attack with it, and then Raikou usually doesn't one shot you. So
Exactly.
yeah. That's one thing to keep in mind, and also I guess they can play more switch cards because some lists have cross switchers, some lists don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
Roaring Moon's just all over the
It-
place, so It's usually
But
like
like it,
very list dependent, I think.
but I still think it's pretty favorable
Yeah.
overall.
Hmm.
But like not super favorable, but like it's definitely winnable.
Yeah, for sure. And they have decent Erica targets
Yeah, yeah,
as for Luminion and Squawk. Lugia Archeops, that is the DTE version, or yeah, colorless version.
yeah.
Um,
The Corollas version.
cause Single Strike is probably not dead. Let's be honest, cause
No,
it's
it's not dead. It's not dead,
but
but it's like already Lugia doesn't see a lot of play, so
yeah,
Single Strike see even less play.
yeah. So Lugia, Carlos Lugia does play for Jet, but
Yep.
with our list or the list that we have playing Sydney and three temples, um, that usually is enough to deal with deal with those four jets.
Yeah.
So
One thing I have a little tips. You all in the matchup where Temple of Sinnoh is important, so those are Lugia Archeops and Lastina.
yep.
You play the first Temple of Sinnoh when they play their first jet.
Hmm.
So you let them have a free KO with a jet.
Yep.
Because either way, you're spending a stadium that can be bumped into just a free first jet,
Hmm.
but you have a stadium in you're down a stadium.
Yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of the matchup is down to resource management, obviously. So
Yeah,
I think a good Lugia player can definitely win, but again, a good Snorlax player can definitely win also,
yeah.
I think.
And Lugia, it's a little less favorable if they play the water energy, but
Yeah.
it's still very winnable if they play the water energy because if they go with a loop between two Luminion, well, first they don't KO.
Hmm.
Second, you can boss an Archeops.
Yep.
And an Archeops, if you have a Defiance belt, they will do 80.
Hmm.
80, if you bench Sarina, that's
60.
go to 60. So you
Yep.
can have two shot of Archeops before Penny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind when going through the matchup. Going down to B tier now, we have Mew and Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Um, Mew, I think, it's. I guess we play the three temples and Sydney, but and
And
Giacomo
Giacomo.
and
Giacomo.
Giacomo. So yeah, but again, it's I think
It's
against a good
Judge Path.
yeah
Judge
Judge
Path.
Path can definitely end your game. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's how like I in the era where I played a ton of Blocklax, all the game I lost against you, it was
Yep.
always Judge Path.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if it DT Mew, which it's probably dead, but you never know. It's just pretty much an auto lose
Yeah,
since
yeah, but the deck is not real,
yeah
so
the deck's not real anymore. But even Fusion Mew with the one judge one path, if you're not if you don't like get a good hand out of it, it's pretty much over.
yeah. And
Um,
Iono is already is very hurtful for the
yep,
deck also.
yeah, for sure.
Practically the
Anything,
same.
yeah, anything that just recycles your hand or negates you building up a hand is a pretty good counter. Moving on
True.
to Gardevoir, um, I think
That's a big one
that's a big one.
because it's entirely, and I mean entirely dependent on how much your opponents know what he is doing.
Yeah,
Because
it's yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have had some discussion with friends about it.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure the best route for Gardevoir is Lone Ralts that you evolve into Shining Arcana Gardevoir.
Yep.
That's the only route. That's the best
Yeah.
route. Because if and you Iono, you only Iono when you see either Manaphy, Greninja, or Mew.
Hmm.
So you Iono to put them back in your deck.
Yep.
You try to not shuffle your deck too much,
Yep.
things like that. Yeah, and if they're Erica, uh, they will probably Erica into a Ralts, which can deal little damage, and as we talked earlier,
Hmm.
dealing some chip damage in the Gardevoir Blocklax matchup is pretty key.
Yep.
So yeah, and if the Gardevoir plays Turo and Palpad, you can move that matchup into the uh,
D
C tier if
C? I think it's D.
it's entirely dependent
Yeah.
on what the guy is doing.
Yeah, that's true. I think yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that you have to remind yourself of the
Yeah.
matchup is
In that matchup, the
it's yeah.
skill expression is really one-sided and it's
Yep.
all on the guardie.
Yeah. So if it's a good guardy player, in my opinion, you lose. But if the
Yeah.
guardy player doesn't know what he's doing or it makes one mistake, the
Yeah.
game's over for the guardy player.
That's a good reason for why I would not bring it to LAIC if I were going,
Hmm.
because like Gardevoir player or like it's like their only decks, it's like their only thing, like
Yep.
playing Guardy. So
Yeah.
they've been practicing that sequencing
Yeah.
and that refinement decisions for a month now. So
Yep.
yep.
Yeah. So I think yeah, just there's not much to say if it's all on the guardy player. Let's just say that. Moving on to C tier, we have Lost Zone Box. I think it's I would put it in a similar thing as the guardy player, but you also there's more skill expression as the Snorlax player. You know,
Yep.
if the Lost Box player is able to go Lone Dragonite, there's not much you
Well, they
can
have to
do.
start it.
Yeah, I mean they have to start it, or if they go like one Comfy and then
There's a thing in Last Box. It doesn't matter how many comfy you bench. So if you want to go, if you start another thing than Dragonite,
yeah,
you can go with your usual three comfy
yeah, I
because
guess that's true.
those are the same targets
Yep,
either way.
makes sense. But yeah, I think you just have to go into Dragonite or something that kills the Snorlax if you're playing some weird Lost Box
Yeah,
version. Um,
you have in this matchup you definitely have to go the aggressive route.
yeah, for sure.
Either way, the Misfortune Sisters are going to kill you.
Yeah, so you don't have time to waste. You just if the Lost Box
Yeah.
player is just fast enough and can get the Dragonite hitting it quick enough, then
Yeah,
it's a
and
rough time.
I'm pretty sure you only want to hit with Dragonite
Yeah.
because like hitting with Cram is a waste
Hmm.
pretty much of a switch,
Yep.
and yeah, and don't bench Greninja. God, don't bench it.
Never. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for Lost Box. Tina, our good old friend that every control player hates,
Yep.
just keeps haunting our dreams. Shred is just I don't know why that Pokemon has Shred. Let's just keep it at that.
The it's crazy that evolution line has everything. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It has draw and filtering. It has shred. It has huge damage,
Yep.
and it has
One shot.
uh,
You're
one
dead.
shot.
You're dead attack.
That's crazy.
I still don't
That's
know
it's
why they put Shred on that thing. To this day, it haunts me,
yeah.
man.
So yeah, the Tina player just wants to set up bench one Tina, load it with a lot of energy on it,
Yep.
and just uh, be conservative with their jet. Only use them when needed
Yep.
because jets are like better switch because they can't be misfortune sisters
Hmm.
and keep your path to bump the Temple of Sinnoh and GG. That's very a
That's
bad matchup.
yep.
And only you you can evolve your Giratina in the late game, like
Yep.
when you have two or three prizes left to take, but not before that.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. Even if you're not one-shotting the Snorlax, they can't really keep up
It's
the
fine.
the penny loop anyways. So like
You put so much
yeah,
pressure.
160 is just so much damage. Um. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Moving on to the last deck, we have Iron Valiant Urshifu. Um. It plays what 12 switching cards, and it has fighting type
and
weakness.
uh and
So
it's multiple we don't have to say
yeah,
anything.
I
Just
think
we
that
can just
just
go
is
on.
as for the Entei version, I don't know. That would
Still
be
still a bad
still.
matchup.
Yeah, I guess it can just
Pretty
hit
much the
with.
same as Tina.
Yeah, they just hit with Metachamp, so it doesn't matter. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's lightly more favored than Tina. Ugh,
yeah,
maybe ugh.
I don't think
Haven't
so.
tested that matchup honestly.
Yeah. But I think those two, Tina and Iron Valiant, are pretty much just forget about those, unless as everything goes, if the other player can make one mistake or just plays bad, you can always win. You know.
Yeah, and that's what I don't like about this deck. It capitalized too much on the opponent
Hmm.
being not so smart.
Yep. Or making like making mistakes
Yeah.
or things like that. So I think that goes over a lot of things, or pretty much that goes over what
Yeah, we
the
went
we just talked for
we
30
we spend a
minutes
lot of
on
that.
Block Snorlax. I didn't think that was
Yeah, we
possible.
talk way too much. Yeah, we talk
uh,
way too much for what it is. But
yep,
like, hey, if you want to play the deck now, you're all set up.
yeah,
You know everything.
there you go, for sure. So moving on, um, we have this new set, and of course coming up we have this
I
big
wait, 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 wait,
tournament.
wait.
Oh,
Just
what
where
what am I forgetting?
the thing the little meme on how
Oh,
to beat
of
luck.
course, of course. So Max here. Max made you guys a guide. He made you guys a
Yeah,
guide on how to beat Block Snorlax. So
yeah.
I have it pulled up here.
You have it pull up.
I have it pulled up. So
All
Max,
right.
if you want to explain to us the guide.
So it's like the how to beat Snorlax. It goes from the lamest to the best.
Yeah,
So the first one is Meteor. That's super lame. Don't play that card.
it
It's
does,
super bad.
and it
It's
doesn't
only
work.
good versus one matchup, and even then, we can play around it.
Yep.
It's super lame, boring.
Don't play Minior.
Bleh. Spiritomb.
Yeah,
Now we're
Spiritomb.
talking.
Yeah, yeah,
Spiritomb. Now we're talking. If you bench Spiritomb on your first turn, oof, oof.
yeah.
We're gonna have a pretty hard time.
Yep, for sure.
Third, how to hold or use your resources.
Yep.
That's a huge part because like it's not true that versus control you have to hold your resources the most because like they're going to disrupt you. No. If you take too long to set up your game plan against control, they're gonna take the high ground on
Yep.
that and capitalize on this. And so you can spend your switches card. You can put down Squawk turn one. Sometimes it's
Yep.
okay. You have to read the situation pretty well. You
Hmm.
have to uh, you have to judge based on what you have priced, what you have available, what your hands look like, what the opponent's board look like, and yeah. And finally, Blocklax always want to go second. There's
Yep.
not a single exception to that. You want to play that turn one Arven
Yep.
into VIP pass, into Forest Stone, into a
Whatever.
Gust or something,
Yep.
whatever. They want that VIP pass is so crucial
Yep.
to the setup. So if you go second,
Just.
you reduce their chance of playing that VIP pass. They basically have to draw into it
Yep.
in their opening hand, yeah.
Hmm.
So if you know the opponent is playing Blocklax, you choose to go second. I don't care if your deck wants to go first. Go second.
Yep.
Thank me later.
Yep. As we've said, this deck is a lot of it is setup, and if you can stop the setup, then you'll be fine for sure. So
All right, enough about
enough of Block Snorlax.
enough about the dude. Enough about the elephant in the room. Enough about the guy who's all over the place on Twitter.
Yeah, this is crazy times we live in where this deck is
Yeah.
somehow. But yeah, moving on. LAIC next week, new set, first tournament. I think it's gonna be a very interesting tournament. We have people talking about teching for Snorlax, which Max, if you're going to LAIC and you're magically not playing control, are you teching for Snorlax?
Well, first of all, I would probably go 03 if I'm not playing control. But would I uh take again control? No. No, I
Yeah.
would not. I would not. And if I were to tech, it would be Spiritomb. and that's only if Spiritomb helps me in other
Yep,
matchups. But
for sure.
hey, Spiritomb is pretty underrated at the moment, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah,
Like there like you have some setup decks that uses Luminion.
yep.
You have Mew. Mew is not talked about
Yeah,
enough. I would say that.
Mew is for sure still a
Mew,
thing.
as always, you have the curve.
Yep, the Mew,
Mew, it's always something. It's
it's
always
always there.
somewhere. And
Yep.
so if I were to take again control, it would only be because I have Spiritomb for other matchups.
Yeah. So I also agree. I think Spiritomb is probably like your best tech going into, because I think my opinion is you never want to only tech for control unless, you know, control is tier 1, which it is not. I would never specifically tech for control. That's why Spiritomb is so good because it's good into control where you can block the Rotom, but it's also good into other matchups like Max and Mew. You have Lugia. You have technically, I guess you have what's his name? The Dark type.
Roaring
Yeah,
Moon.
Roaring Moon. Yeah, I guess they play Lumineon sometimes. So I think if you can splash, your tech into other matchups, it always makes it better. So the only tech I would specifically
Yeah.
go for is Spiritomb. I fully agree with that.
But one thing is I would test that matchup. I would
Also,
practice against it,
yep.
against Snorlax,
Hmm. Yeah,
to know the
cause
route,
yeah, cause
to know,
if you
to
think you're
test
good
like.
enough,
Now go ahead.
if you think you're good enough in the matchup and you don't want to tech for it, sure, go ahead. As we said, the guard player, if you're playing Guardy and you think, okay, well, I've played this, I don't know, matchup like 20 times or practiced it 20 times, then sure, you probably don't need to tech for it because if you play it smart and you know what you're doing, you'll probably win. So you might also just not need to tech.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. As for text goes, you know,
I hope there's someone who will bring an interesting control.
yeah, let's hope.
Like that would be cool.
That would be nice. That would be very nice.
I hope it's not the
Unfortunately,
one we're cooking right now. But hey, like
yeah,
we're cooking
there's
something pretty good right now.
there's for sure other stuff I think people are forgetting. I think Snorlax is overshadowing a lot of the good cards that have came out in this set for control, which is
True.
I I don't
True.
mind. I think is very good since it makes the opportunity for a different deck to do very good. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Sander is not attending LAIC, so
That's a tragedy, bro.
I doubt we'll see uh a control deck do well since uh I my prediction was if he was going to LIC he was gonna top eight, but unfortunately he's not going. But yeah, hopefully I'm wrong and somebody is cooking up something in Brazil. Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. So
Yeah.
just keep your eyes peeled for these next
Yeah.
tournaments,
And
cause
just to guy let you know, don't be shocked if a control deck play this. Like we're currently playing this in our control list.
yeah.
Pretty interesting stuff.
So yeah, just I think people are forgetting a lot that it's not just Dorlax that exists.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That exactly.
uh, but yeah, as for the meta goes, if we move a little bit off of control for a second here, you know, if we're talking about the new decks, uh, Max, we have Iron Hands, we have Roaring Moon, we have Iron Valiant. What do you think of the new decks going into this tournament?
I think they all take a pretty bad matchup to Gardevoir. I think they're
Yeah,
super interesting deck. Like Roaring Moon, definitely a pretty good deck.
yeah.
Uh, Champa with Iron Hands, Miraidon with Iron Hands. Ah, that's not true. Miraidon with Iron Hands destroy Gardevoir, but like uh, Iron Violent is. Oh, by the way, Iron Violent way too hype.
Yeah,
Like that deck loses its steam on turn 3, and
yeah.
it's a you can sometimes have some pretty cheesy win, but like
It's personally I've been playing it a lot online and it's pretty fun, but yeah,
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And
it's
I think it will be good one day.
yeah, for sure. The more cards they print, I think, the better this that deck gets. But I
Yeah.
also think Iron Valiant is going to be a deck where, you'll probably see one. I think it's similar to Intel Urshifu, where you'll probably see one person high roll the matchups and just do insane with a deck or get like top 16, top 32. So I think those decks are very similar.
Yeah.
Roaring Moon is definitely good. I just think it's like Dark Maridon.
Dark
That's
Miraidon who takes a bad matchup against Miraidon
yeah.
actually.
That's
Yeah. But
that's
the
my
deck
take
is
on it.
interesting. There's something there. The Greninja build at
Hmm.
first I thought it was just a meme, but now I'm like, hey, that
Yeah,
thing is
Energy
pretty
Switch is
real.
pretty cool. So
It's pretty cool and it's pretty real to be
yeah,
honest.
and as always for new sets, somebody is definitely cooking a list up, you know, with
Yeah.
something cheesy or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think for
Roaring Moon
sure,
is will do top 16.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one in top eight or more. I think the deck is
I'd be a little surprised honestly, but I'm
mhm,
pretty confident in top 16 finish.
yeah, top 16 for sure. I
Yeah.
think and then what do we have Champao with Iron Hands.
Yeah, it's a lot of setup, but
I
I don't
think
know.
it's
I don't know
good.
what to think about that. I don't know what to think.
I've played it a bit online, and I think it's pretty decent. Um, Iron Hands does fix a lot of your matchups, or makes it easier, gives you a easier time where you don't need as many cards to combo, to give you that two prize lead. So I think Iron Hands fixes a lot of that. And
Yeah.
again, the only thing is the deck is Shampoo, right? You're gonna have those games where you're just draw passing, or where
Uh,
you poke a stop two Iridas and Vax Caliber, and it is what it is. But the deck is definitely still a thing.
yeah, but
Um,
my two best deck I think at the moment are Gardevoir and Charizard.
yeah,
Charizard, the deck with
yeah,
Evo TM and
yeah,
B-Barrel.
hmm yeah. I do think I do agree. I think Gardevoir is very underlooked right now, just because Iron Hands uh
Yeah,
and Roaring Moon, all the hype of the new set. So I think Gardevoir is actually going to do pretty well this tournament.
and Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard.
If I had to guess, I'd say Charizard will win.
Ooh,
Uh,
Charizard will win?
yeah, it's a guess.
Oh, okay. That means I have to predict something. Hold on.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going with Mew.
Okay, good
I'm going
guess,
with
good
Mew.
guess.
People are forgetting that thing's a deck. And honestly, the Fusion Mew has a you can beat some decks by just being fast and just judge path and just being Mew. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
It's Mew.
yeah.
Mew's never dead. So I'm going with
Yeah,
Mew.
Mew is a pretty good guess.
Yeah. So I think we've went over everything now. Uh
Yeah, we talk way too much about Blocklax.
we went over
But it's a control podcast.
yeah, it is
Yeah,
a
you have to
controlled
be prepared
podcast.
for it. You have
Yeah,
to be prepared for it.
for sure. So I think that'll be it for this week and 2 weeks technically. The next episode will drop like in 2 weeks as always. So
Yeah,
we'll try and make things a bit spicier maybe for next episode. We'll see if we can do something maybe a little bit different. But
yeah.
thank you everybody for watching. Good luck to everyone attending LAIC. Can't wait to watch can't wait to watch the tournament. Actually, we have cups this weekend.
That's true.
Max,
I'll be
are you going to cups this weekend?
probably going to the one on Sunday.
Okay, I'll be there as well. So
Oh,
guess me and Max will might have to something to talk about next week.
hey, hey.
We're gonna have to be cooking. Obviously, we have cups in our area, so we'll let you know guys know how that goes. And thank you everybody for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. Episodes are now on Spotify. If you
Yeah,
want to
that's
listen,
true. Oh,
if
we should have mentioned it in the beginning.
that's true. Hey, for the real ones that are still here, episodes are now on Spotify. So
Yeah, shout out to the real ones.
yeah. So if you want to go listen on Spotify, download it. Episode will be up on Spotify now. So thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Later.
All right. Bye bye.